Hello class, welcome to day 6C, one of those days that have 3 chapters, and this is the 3rd chapter in this lecture series, which we call day 6. This chapter has to do with bed making and just keeping the room and keeping your environment clean and organized. So bed making and unit care. Again, we start from section 2 of the chapter, and also remember to write down questions that you may want to ask your instructor as we go along. What is sleep? Sleep is a natural period of rest for the mind and the body to relax and restore energy, so you can be fresh and full of energy the next day. Biorhythms, natural rhythms and cycle that relates to the body functions. So the body knows when to go to sleep, the body knows when to wake up, so the body have this biorhythms. Also it's related to circadian rhythm, which is your 24-hour day and night cycle. So the body knows when to shut down. Usually around that, for me, around, because I'm used to it now, around 11 p.m., 12 p.m., the body's going to shut down and say, okay, it's time to sleep, time to put the body to rest. And no matter what happens around 6 a.m. every day, I wake up. Even without an alarm on, I still wake up. Whether I went to bed at 9 a little bit earlier or much later, around 6 a.m., the body wakes me up. That's the circadian rhythm. So points to know about sleep. The human body cannot survive for long without sleep. Sleep is needed to replace old cells. Sleep promotes healing and a healthy body functioning, body and soul. Getting enough sleep helps decrease the risk of certain illnesses. Sleep helps improve cognitive functions and promotes emotional health. Insomnia is when somebody is not able to sleep. Parasomnia is sleep orders. So what could happen? People may develop sleep disorders because of the following reasons: illness, anxiety, fear, stress, medication, trouble breathing, so hunger, thirst. So any of these, or a combination of some of these factors, will could cause somebody to have a sleep disorder. Types of sleep disorders: somnambulism means sleepwalking. Some people talk in their sleep, that's called sleep talking. Bruxism, or grinding, clenching the teeth during sleep. REM, sleep behavior disorder, which involves talking, often along with violent movements during sleep. Sleep apnea is when somebody ceases to breathe in the nights while they're sleeping. Incontinence, inability to control bowel and bladder. Depressants, substances that can calm you down, like sleeping medication. Stimulant is the opposite. Medication that can actually increase your action. So factors that affect resident sleep: environment, noise level. Some people can't sleep because of lights on. I had these 2 residents. One cannot sleep without a light on. The other one cannot sleep with light on. And we offered each of them to move to another unit, another floor, another room. They refuse. But every day they're going to fight over the lights. This one wants the other one's light off. The other one said no, they cannot sleep without the light on. So eventually one of them did agree to move to another room. So kind of find ways, this applies to us too. How the routine you go through to fall asleep. Some people have to drink a little glass of wine. I have to drink some wine every now and then just to help me fall asleep faster. But it's not the ideal. You need to kind of condition your body to be able to, fall asleep, naturally without using anything. Think about a time when you could not sleep well. Did you use any special method to help you sleep? I just told you what special method I used. So I still use it sometimes. Every now and then I'll just drink some wine. That helps me fall asleep. For some people, it keeps them up. So residence units is their home. Remember, this chapter is about bed making and unit care. Their room, their units is just like their home. So you have to respect their furnitures and the way they arrange their room, and also have to make sure that you keep it clean always. Why should residents' personal items be respected? Well, how would you feel if somebody came to your room and to your house and start, putting things in the way that you do not appreciate? Well, you will not be happy about that. So what's in a typical room? Residence room? Well, of course, there has to be a bed, bedside stand or dresser. That's a small little chest or dresser that is by the bed that have drawers. There should be a chair. Sometimes resident wants to get out of bed and just sit in a regular chair, or visitor comes, there should be a chair for the visitor to sit and visit. Bath basin, emesis basin, bedpan, urinal for men, water pitcher and cup, privacy curtain, call light. So then the following items are stored in the bedside stand in the lower drawer, the bottom drawer: emesis basin, bath basin, urinal, bedpan, soap, toothbrush, and comb. So now the upper drawer of that nightstand, the resident can put their own personal belongings there, maybe like a jewelry or remote control, things like that. Now the overbed table is used for meals and personal care, but if you're using it for personal care, you must make sure that you put a barrier on the table before, let's say you're doing perineal care. You have to put a barrier on the table first before you put the basin on top of the table. Disposable are things that you use one time and you throw them away. Types of disposable items: cups, tissue, gloves, gown, masks, disposable razors, and pads, things like that. Keep residence unit neat and clean. Keep call lights within reach all the time. Very, very important. They must be able to call for help. Even if you're calling, they're abusing it, it doesn't matter. You can never take their call light away from them. Always straighten your linen, straighten your bed, restock supply. Notify housekeeping if the whole room needs to be cleaned. But if it's just a small spill, you can clean it up. Check equipment, make sure that they're working, refill water pitchers, remove anything that could be a safety hazard. Maybe there's something on the way. You have to remove those things so they don't fall. Again, the guidelines for cleaning a unit after a transfer, discharge, or death. Usually in my facility, everything in that room has to be, sterilized. The sheets, we have to prepare the room now for a new admission. So everything is going to be, the floor, the bed is going to be wiped down. We're going to put brand new sheets on it. I'm talking about my facility protocol. Every new admission must sleep on a brand new sheet. So we get the room ready once somebody is transferred out or the resident dies. So proper bed making is important for many reasons. Resident will spend more time on the bed. A neatly well-made bed helps them to sleep better. Careful bed making prevents infection, and bed making promotes good health. Different types of bed. There's electric bed. There are some beds that have built-in weight scale in it. Then they have beds with alternating pressure mattress. That means air mattress. Then you have bariatric beds. Bariatric beds are beds that's oversized. You know, bariatric means person is big, um, maybe like 300 pounds and up. They're not going to be able to fit in to regular bed. So usually when we get such people for admission, the admission office will have to order a special bed. There's a contractor that sells bed. I mean extra wide bed like that. Bed should always remain locked. You know, when they are in bed, the bed should be locked in case they want to step out of the bed so that the bed will not move. Guidelines for bed making: always bring the bed up to your level when you're making bed so that you don't have to bend so much. Change bed linen. You know, when they are wet, soiled, or wrinkled, wash your hands. Use proper infection control procedure, and so on. You can go through the rest. The types of, so there's a closed bed and then there's an open bed. A closed bed simply means that the bed is made and the covers are on. You cannot go in, you cannot get into the bed. But an open bed is a bed which is the opposite, the bed that, you know, the cover had been opened up to kind of prepare the bed for the residents to jump in when they're ready. Occupied bed means that somebody's in the bed. Unoccupied bed means nobody's in the bed. Surgical bed. So surgical bed is a bed made so that a person can easily move onto it from a stretcher. So for example, the beds that are kept in the emergency room are surgical bed, so that when they bring the stretcher out, the stretcher will be able to align with the level of the bed with the surgical bed. Also, if that resident needs emergency surgery, they're just going to push the bed into the operating room without having to transfer the resident to a special surgical bed. So this is bed making. You're going to watch a video on that. This is making an occupied bed. When you're making an occupied bed, you know, it's a little bit tricky. Make sure you put the other side rail up to begin with. Then you're going to turn the resin to the side. Then you're going to line up the clean, take off the clean sheet, take off the soil sheets, and roll it, you know, in such a way that you roll it under the resident, and then you're going to put the clean sheets on. So you do one half at a time. When you're done with the one half, you put the side rail up and go over to the other side and complete the section. Let's look at this is the beginning of the bed making. And then we see that he's almost done, and we see now that's the making of the bed with somebody in it, which is called occupied bed. That's the bed. And that is the end of bed making and unit care.